Hello, Maria. Welcome back.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm I'm all right.
Okay. How has things been going?
Um, they've been going okay. We've had our ups and downs this week, with some good moments and some not so good ones.
Okay. Okay. So it sounds like sometimes are a little easier than others.
Yeah, yeah, some good times and some definitely rough times. It really depends on kind of what's going on day by day.
Okay. Yeah, that's understandable. Okay. Well, today our session is going to be for about an hour. We are just going to talk about some different types of coping skills. And during our last session, I had discussed a few things with you, like journaling and practicing mindfulness and things like that. So we're just going to talk a little more about that. Okay.
Okay, sounds
Okay.
good.
Okay. Well, so you say that there's been some harder times and better times. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Um, so the harder days are the ones where honestly it takes everything within me to get out of bed. And to be honest, some of those days I don't even actually get out of bed. And if I do, I stay in my pajamas all day and I don't really do much. I mean, I get my kids off to school and things like that. But the good days, they come every now and then. I think those are the days when I have more support from my husband because he's home.
Mm,
Um, and then, yeah, that's kind of how it's been going with that.
okay. Well, I appreciate you being honest with me and sharing with me how things are really going. Um, this is a safe place for healing, and when you share the the honesty and things that are going on, that gives me the opportunity to really help and see how things are really going. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
So I know in the last session we had talked about journaling. Is that anything that you have been able to do at all, or have you given it any thought?
I I did it twice this week. Um, those 2 days, I mean, I did it while I was kind of like laying in bed. It was probably midday. I will say it did help me at least get out of bed. Um, but yeah, just those 2 days I tried it.
Okay, okay. So you were able to try it when on the harder days. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, it was kind of like a last resort. Like I just needed to do something because I knew I had my toddler to take care of and I just knew I had to do something. So I kind of pushed myself to do it. Um, and because my journal is kind of like I make sure I put it on my bookshelf in my room, so then it kind of forces me to get up so that I have to do it.
Mm,
So,
that's really good. That's really good. Well, I'm really proud of you for that and getting up and journaling and at least getting something on paper and kind of getting out of that thinking sometimes because when we're feeling really sad or we're experiencing depression, it can just, our thinking just makes us feel worse, right? And then we have a really hard time getting up or getting motivated. And so trying something even when we don't want to, that's a really big deal. So I'm really proud of you for that.
well, thank you.
You're welcome. So when you were journaling, was it maybe your thought process and things you were thinking or feeling?
Um, it was things that like I was thinking and feeling, um,
Okay.
just kind of about my day and things like with my mom and um I do try to journal like memories of her that I do remember when they come across so I don't forget them. And then that usually helps me kind of smile by the time I'm done journaling.
Okay, that's really good. So when you say so that you don't forget memories, do you think that you could possibly forget memories of her?
Yeah, I know with time, memories kind of start to fade.
Hmm.
So I know that like some of the big things will always be there, but sometimes the little details that I don't want to forget. And so that's kind of why I do that. Um, just because I don't want to forget the small things too.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Do you, when you think about um, your mother and her passing, can you identify any other thought processes that you may have regarding her?
Um, like beyond memories, like how I feel about it.
Yeah, how you feel about it, maybe any positive thoughts you have about it, any fears that you have about it.
So positive thought, I guess, is the hope that she'll always be with me. Uh,
Mm,
the fear would be that I'm always going to be kind of stuck in this and that I won't be able to get past it just because I don't know. I don't know how you can ever get past losing a parent. I mean, I worked
mm.
through my dad. Granted, that took years, but even sometimes the thought of him still comes up.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the thing about grieving is it kind of has its highs and lows. And so it's not just a straight line, right? It kind of has its highs and lows, and then it'll get a little easier for a while, and maybe something will happen, or we'll see something, or think of something that triggers, and kind of sends us back into that space of just sadness again. And so that can be ongoing, but I think the goal is that it gets to where it's less sadness
Mhm.
as often. So that's the part of grieving, is just that you can continue to learn to get past um, the feelings and the struggle of depression, and you can learn to cope on a daily basis with your responsibilities and things that you really want to do and like to do. Okay. So paying attention to these thoughts is like the thoughts that come when we're just kind of feeling stuck in the moment, kind of what is our head telling us, and that's a good practice of mindfulness. Just really paying attention to how the thoughts are affecting our feelings, which affect our behavior, because they kind of can go hand in hand together. So I I just wanted to talk with you a little bit about that, because that's where a lot of it starts, is really just the thinking patterns. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm hearing you say that on some days you are able to handle your day to day responsibilities, especially when you have the support of your husband. And then on other days, it's a little bit harder of a struggle. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm glad that you have that support of your husband, and I'm glad that you have those days where it is a little bit easier. Um, have you, talking about support, have you gained any new support people? Have you been able to attend a grief support group yet, or given it any more thought?
So I looked into a couple. I got kind of scared and kind of backed out of actually going. So there's one I'm interested in. It is for Latinos, so they do speak Spanish. So I've really considered that one just so that um, I could talk with them because our language is going to be similar.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of taking that first step of going has been really difficult.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you were able to find one that you could potentially connect with. Um, and taking a step like that's a big step. It is a big step. It's something new. And grief, the word itself, and knowing what all you're feeling and really going through can be really scary anyway. And then, meeting new people. And when we're already struggling with depression and struggling to get out of the bed, then getting ready to go with a whole new group of people, that is absolutely scary. So I can see how that's kind of taken a little bit more time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would encourage you to even maybe just go there. And even if you just sit in the parking lot at first, just getting out, like baby steps into it, just going and sitting in the parking lot, maybe inviting your husband to go with you as well, so that then you have someone else, you have kind of support inside of support. Sometimes we need that. So um, inviting him to go with you, maybe go just sit in the parking lot, check out the area, the surroundings, and then the next day you maybe can go and meet just one person. Sometimes baby steps, but it wins, right? It taking steps toward the process is all that. It's all that counts.
Yeah.
What about baking cakes? Is that something that you've done? I know you haven't been able to do that as much as you used to, and that's something you learned from your mother. Is that something that you've been able to do since we had our last session?
I would say with that, I took the first steps. We bought all this stuff too. Um, I just haven't gotten around to actually doing it. Um, but we have all the stuff I need to do it now. So it's just kind of a matter of actually taking that step.
Yeah. But you've already taken one big step and got the things to do it. So it's kind of like one step and then maybe another little step until you can kind of do that again. Do something that you enjoy and something that helps you remember and have a memory of your mother in a really positive way. So, yeah, well, good for you. Baby
Mhm.
steps. That's good. That's really good. Um, are you still, how are things going with Jose at school? Is that getting any better?
Um, I've received a few notes from the teacher and his planner, some of the behavioral issues. They have started the process of helping me get him tested. Um, so it's just kind of a matter of when with that. Um, so the school guidance counselor has been kind of trying to figure out how to get him that tested. So
Okay. Okay. So there have been some steps in the right direction with that as well.
mhm.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts and feelings about that?
um, I mean, I'm hoping that if he does have it, we can get him properly diagnosed. But I'm not sure how I feel about him being on any medications. Just because in our culture we don't really like to put children on medication unless it's absolutely necessary. So I guess I'm just kind of taking it step by step to see kind of maybe what therapy we could get him in, hopefully instead, if he
Mhm.
does have something.
Okay. Okay. And if there's anything that I can help do with that, or if you need any type of resources, you just let me know and I'll be glad to help do some research with you.
Oh, thank you.
Are you feeling, I know that was an area that you were feeling a little bit like you couldn't help, right? Sometimes we just feel like our hands are tied. So are you feeling a little bit better as a mother?
Yeah, I think so. Like I said, I mean, I'm just kind of going with the flow of what they tell me. Um, I've signed the paperwork for them to do what they need to get him checked.
Mm-hmm.
But from there on, I really don't know what else I'm supposed to do at this point. So I'm just kind of staying still in it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And sometimes just being in the moment is all we can be and really the best place we can be.
Mhm.
Just really learning to try to still our mind and still our feelings and even our body to just be in the moment, present with